Have you ever felt a quiet tug in your soul that you can't name? A sense that you no longer belong to the crowd, that the noise and pretense feel heavier than ever? That inner stirring is not weakness, it is awakening. Some people call it spiritual evolution. Others call it existential disillusionment. Carl Jung observed that as a person awakens to their deeper self, the world that once held comfort may begin to feel hollow. That's why many spiritually awakened souls start stepping away from society, not out of bitterness or escape, but from a necessity to breathe, to heal, to realign. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I want to share with you the hidden truths about why awakened people feel compelled to leave society, and what that journey can teach us all about transformation, freedom, and real belonging. Section 1. The Call of the Inner Self. From the earliest days of your life, society whispers its expectations, how to behave, what to value, how to succeed. But those internal whispers never quiet entirely. They become louder over time. The more your spirit matures, Jung believed we carry within us not just the persona, the mask the world sees, but the deeper self, which longs for authenticity. When those two voices diverge, conflict begins. Awakened people often reach a point where the mask feels suffocating. They feel pressure to perform, to wear social masks, to chase superficial approval. But their inner self resists conformity. The world's rhythms no longer match their heartbeat. Slowly, the noise, compromise, and shallow values lose appeal. The awakened one doesn't leave society because they hate people. They leave because they can't continue living untrue to themselves. Imagine a flower trying to bloom in darkness. It endures for a time, but eventually it must find light or fail. Someone who hears the inner call experiences growing restlessness. They may stay for love, for duty, for fear. But piece by piece, the world's demands erode their energy. And then comes the decision point: surrender or depart. This departure is not always physical. Sometimes awakened people withdraw mentally and emotionally first. They reduce social media exposure, stop caring about small talk, decline invitations, or refuse to drain themselves in toxic environments. They reorient their time towards silence, contemplation, and inner work. They feel society is not evil, but incomplete, and often misaligned with deeper truth. Why does this happen more often among the spiritually sensitive? Because they sense something hidden, that our civilization may be rich in information, yet poor in meaning. It's possible to live a busy life and still feel hollow. Spiritually awakened souls detect the emptiness behind the glamour. They hunger for connection with depths, not distractions. And when the outer world doesn't reflect that hunger, the soul begins to withdraw. Section 2. The Stages of Withdrawal. When an awakened person begins the journey of leaving, it often unfolds in stages. Understanding these phases can soothe the inner crises and help others around them empathize. Phase 1. Disillusionment. This is the moment when illusions crack. Maybe a relationship disappoints, a belief fails, or a value you once held dear no longer resonates. The awakened see cracks in institutions, traditions, systems, and even religion. The world's promises of security and identity begin to seem hollow. Disillusionment is not rebellion, it is recognition that you've outgrown a phase. Phase 2. Detox from external influence. Next comes detox. The awakened reduce exposure to voices that enforce fear, competition, or judgment. They step back from news overload, opinionated social media, groupthink. It's not withdrawal from humanity, it's withdrawal from forces that distort the higher self. This detox creates a clear space for inner voice to speak. Phase 3. Solitude and inner cultivation. In solitude, they begin rebuilding from within. This does not mean loneliness. It means sacred time for reflection, dreams, shadow work, active imagination. Jung taught that individuation, the process of becoming you, requires dialogues with your unconscious, with symbols, with dreams. Many awakened people find deep solace in silence, nature, meditation, journaling, creating. Here the soul rests and listens. Phase 4. Selective re-engagement or transformation. After a time, awakened souls return. Not to the same roles, but to roles aligned with their inner truth. Some become writers, healers, guides, artists, or quiet teachers. Others shape their social life carefully, choosing relationships that resonate. They may still live in society, but from the margins or outskirts, no longer fully conforming. Their contribution is not mass, but depth. Through these phases, many are misunderstood. People call them aloof, weird, antisocial. But in truth, they are rewriting the relationship between inner and outer world. Section 3. Why leaving is not weakness, but courage. Leaving society might sound dramatic, but for awakened people, it's often the ultimate courage. It takes bravery to face judgments, to endure solitude, to let go of what others consider success. But staying inauthentic is a slow death of spirit. They leave because they see the cost of staying. Psychic depletion, internal conflict, numbness of purpose. They leave because the soul demands honesty. They leave to preserve their integrity so that when they return to people, to work, to communities, it's from a place of fullness, not scarcity. This departure is not about disconnection from humanity. It's about reclaiming humanity from within. They refuse to mirror society's broken patterns. They refuse to betray their inner knowing. That kind of stand may look lonely, but it is a stand for depth. For you watching this video, you may not be completely awakened, or maybe you are. You may feel small tugs in your chest, whispers you don't understand. Let this message honor that stir. You are not rejecting life. You are demanding a life worthy of your spirit. To the awakened viewer, your leaving is not betrayal, it is reclamation. To those who remain in society, do not mistake withdrawal for superiority. Your path is different. Respect the silent ones who are walking alone, because sometimes the greatest work is invisible. Section 4. How to navigate leaving and integration. Leaving society doesn't mean cutting off completely. It means evolving relationship. Here are guardrails and practices that awakened people use to stay sane, compassionate, connected when necessary, and aligned. Set gentle boundaries. You don't need to explain withdrawal. You can decline invitations without guilt. You can say you're working on inner things. Clear boundaries protect your energy without burning bridges. Stay grounded in nature. Nature resets. Trees and rivers don't judge. When soul feels raw, step into wilderness, forest, desert, beaches. Let earth heal the split between inner and outer. Find symbolic community. Solitude is healing, but humans also need mirrors. Seek spiritual or reflective friends, not drains. Join small groups that talk about depth, not status. Keep minimal outer structure. Living simply, less clutter, less consumerism, helps maintain clarity. The awakened often minimize outer noise, so inner signals become louder. Embrace sacred rituals. Consistent rituals anchor spirit. Could be morning silence, journaling, dream work, breath work. These rituals link you to the inner. As society fades, return to service. For many awakened souls, the ultimate reunion with society is through service, not from ego, but from care. They share wisdom softly, help quietly, offer presence more than advice. In that way, they become bridges between soul and society. By now, you see that the path of leaving is not cowardice. It's fidelity to self. It's an act of trust. Trust that you are not alone in your journey, that what you feel is real, and that a new life emerges when you stop compromising the soul. Stay until the end, so you can fully see this journey, heal your own inner exile, and step toward wholeness even while the world spins on. If this message stirred something deep inside you, commit now to listen more to your inner voice. Share this video with someone who needs to awaken.